Hello Year 3, today we are going to find out about the Stone Age. Let's review what prehistoric means. Prehistoric comes from prehistory. It means a time before written records existed. There is no recorded history of this time that we can read, just clues left behind that archaeologists have to interpret. The Stone Age covers a huge period of time, over 3 million years. The Stone Age starts from when the first human-like animals came into existence. The earliest evidence has been found in Africa. Early humans arrived in Britain more than 800,000 years ago, but Britain had not been constantly lived in since that time due to climate changes. The ice and the cold temperatures during the last period of time known as the Ice Age meant that early humans left Britain in search of warmer climates. At this time, Britain was not an island, so they could walk across the land into Europe and Africa. Why is it called the Stone Age? The Stone Age is called this because the earliest humans used stone to make tools with a sharp edge or a point. Now, stone was the main material used during the Stone Age. We break the Stone Age down into 3 smaller time periods: the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic. During the Paleolithic, the earliest hominids, which are humans or close relatives of humans, called Homo habilis, used simple stone tools, and they were slowly developing into modern humans we call Homo sapiens now. We are all Homo sapiens now. Britain was still connected by land to France and Denmark, so they were able to move. During the Mesolithic, people largely led nomadic lives. Nomadic means that they move around. They don't have one house that stays in one place. And they lived as hunter-gatherers, and they're always on the move to find new prey to hunt and new things to gather for food. During this time, Britain became an island. The land went away, the land bridge went away, and then it was surrounded by sea. During the Neolithic, farming began, pottery was developed, and villages were built. So that means that people were no longer nomadic, they were staying in one place and building houses. Which countries were populated during the Stone Age? Today there are over 7 billion people in the world. But even at the peak of the Stone Age, which means the most people, it was probably less than 5 million people in the world. About 2 million years ago, Homo habilis appeared in Africa, in Eastern Africa. About 1.5 million years ago, Homo erectus were living in the southern Caucasus and northern China. Erectus means erect, to be upright. So you can see that they are more standing upright, Homo erectus. By 4,000 years ago, the early human population had spread to Indonesia and Europe. By 27,000 years ago, they had set foot in Australia, Poland, Japan, and Siberia. It wasn't until around 10,000 BC that early humans reached North and South America via the Bering Land Bridge that at the time connected Siberia and North America. To review, what type of houses did they live in? This depends on the time and the country. In Britain, archaeologists have found evidence of 4 different types of dwellings. They lived in caves during the Paleolithic time. It is guessed that they lived in circular or conical-shaped huts made of fir and wood during the Mesolithic time. Evidence suggests that they were living in rectangular houses during the Neolithic period. And also they were living in stone houses during the Neolithic period. What clothes did the prehistoric people in the Stone Age wear? People wore animal skins to keep them warm, and they were sewn together using bone needles, needles made from bones. The fine bone needles that have been found were probably used for embroidery as well, for decoration. The bodies of a boy and a girl, buried about 28,000 years ago in Russia, were found with thousands of ivory beads and fox teeth covering them, work that would have taken years to complete. We also know that people were weaving fabric back then, which could have been used for clothes, and dyeing spun plant fibers different colors. So maybe fashion started a lot earlier than you might think. And what food did they eat in the Stone Age? Animals were the main source of food. They would eat all of the animal. When all the meat was stripped off the bones would be smashed so the marrow could be eaten from the inside. Marrow is high in fat and would have been a very good energy source. Did you know that some archaeologists believe that early humans would have cut open the stomach of an animal and eaten the last meal the animal ate? Isn't that interesting? Although farming was thought to start during the Neolithic time, when more plant foods became people's diet, main parts of the diet, there's evidence of people eating food such as beans, seeds, lentils, nuts, and grains over 23,000 years ago in the Paleolithic period. Their diet was a lot more varied than you might think, including many plants that we today treat as weeds, such as sunflower seeds, nettle leaves, and hazelnuts. How did they communicate in the Stone Age? Symbols have been found alongside cave paintings in Europe, used repeatedly in the same clusters in different caves. So that means the same cluster means the same group of symbols was used in different caves. Similar symbols have also been found on jewelry, suggesting that was possible communication system in existence 30,000 years ago. Maybe they were talking to each other. So what kind of activities did they do in the Stone Age? They dug for flint, which was for making weapons and tools. They hunted and gathered food. They made tools and weapons. They prepared animal skins to make clothes. They hunted and gathered food. They also started fires to cook food and keep warm. They made objects of clay. They made some jewelry. They made thread from plant fibers and dyed it. And they painted, like the paintings we can still see today in caves. Did you know the origins of the domestic dog can be traced back to the Stone Age? Dogs would help with hunting, and there are graves that have been found where dogs have been buried with tools like they buried humans with. This tells us that dogs were treated like part of the family. Thank you for listening today. Have a great day.